up in the era of in the GD era. It was rivals. You had the GDs, you had the brothers. I came up in that era, back in the late '80s and stuff. It was a little hectic, man. Word up when you was younger. Cats waiting after school, GDs all across the street. Down the street you got the brothers clashing at White Castles, McDonald's, all types of shit. GDs putting 6-point stars in the middle of the sidewalk. Students walking outside of the sidewalk on the street because you couldn't walk over that star, or niggas would beat you half to death. Couldn't bang your hat a certain way. You better wear your shit straight like this. Like this. No, none of that. No, none of that. No, don't even act like shit right now. Gang, one of my targets is Larry Hoover. I'm not sure I'm going to get into that because I don't understand nothing about this today. I can deal with that.
See, the reason why a lot of niggas don't be talking about GD because they got the wrong perception of it. Everybody's still talking about Gangster Disciple. That's more like in the 80s, man. It's bigger and better things. It's more about growth and development. It ain't just about...
Whoa. What it do? Yeah, Chi-Town's finest, baby. Man, I was watching $1 Million Worth of Game, man, and Gilly and Wallow. Much respect to them two brothers, man. They had J Prince, the black hand, you dig? And Larry Hoover Jr. on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast tonight, man. And, man, they hit some key points about some real shit about how this government is and how wicked they've been towards the old man, known as, Chief. You did? Mr. Larry Hoover, man. That's what's up. And it's like, man, this topic right here, it always catch me because, man, this is part of that foundation I was built and raised under. And people still get the wrong perception about when they hear GD, you know what I mean? And I'm not active anymore. Don't ever think that's what I'm saying, but certain things are always, that's instilled in you, always come out of you. What form you choose to bring it out of you in, that's up to the person. So I'm always here to talk about the positives about growth and development. You heard one young man say, the Gangster Disciples, that was more like the 80s. And that's the real shit, Man, they had J Prince on there, man. He's speaking, his brother, man, he met Larry Hoover one time, man. He met the Chief one time, 30 years ago. And from that one meeting, that's why J Prince has been right by his side, riding with him to the end, trying to get him free, man. How do you give a brother, man, that's 70 plus years old right now? How is he still sitting on 6 life sentences plus 200 off an attempt from 1972 going into 73? One attempt, people. Everybody in this country should be appalled, you know what I mean? Because they put the 6 life sentences on them because they took 6 county jails in Illinois and changed all the badges intentionally. So antennas wouldn't get raised, but they put all illegal recordings in all the visitors' passes in the jail the chairman was in, and they changed the fucking law in Crook County just for that trial to convict that man, and now you can't do that shit again. So that's the country we live in. Not saying that brother might not have did something to do some time, but I believe that man has paid his debt to society. You can't charge a man for every crime somebody on the streets do because they say he's the face of that organization. That's basically what they did. Any crime they heard a GD did, that was a strike against Mr. Hoover. You know what I mean? And that's illegal in itself, But it's like, man, that brother has read books, documentaries, you know what I mean? All kind of paraphernalia of positivity amongst brothers, you know what I mean? He has no vile conversation come out of his mouth ever. He doesn't write any, you know what I mean, hurt material. It's all about lifting your people, even the people that's represent a different organization. It's about what's this side or that side. It's not about that because everybody knew. All the all the machines, all the people in charge of the machines, which is the government, knew. If they'd released Mr. Hoover back in '96, Chicago wouldn't be doing what's happening right now today. That's a fact. That is a fact. Because the disconnect, my generation, second generation, GDs, we knew who the chairman was. The generation right after me, they knew who the chairman was. That's when it stopped because they erased them from having any interaction with the streets. That's why these shorties out here, they claiming GD, they claiming BD, but they don't give a fuck about Mr. Hoover or Jeff Ford. They don't even know nothing about him, you know? So it's like, man, that really matters, man. It's like those two brothers, man, those are two of the strongest men ever with any street ties ever to exist in this country. That's a fact. And they would kill them like they did the Malcolm X's, et cetera, but they know if they did that, swear with this country ever have a real serious problem, man. Salute, Frank White. Salute, bro. That's real. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, you got to think about like Mayor Daley. All of them was mafia. They had their hands in every illegal tobacco, illegal liquor, prostitution, money laundering, everything. But they let all the Italians and every other organization / gang clean their act up and go into business, into politics, into et cetera. But our leaders who did the exact same thing, they buried them alive. What's the difference, man? That's the country we live in, man. You know, everybody might start out doing some little foul shit in your neighborhood, but as you grow and develop, you realize certain things are not betterment of your people, so you maneuver and change as you go, you know? And that's what the chief did, you know what I mean? And it's all in writing. It's all in recordings. That's why Rat 100 ass, he's gonna make himself get violated because that situation with the young lady going in there to the chief, and they had an agreement that she would record this man and get his words on recorded. That would have been used at his, when they was trying to get the brother out with Trump there, but she went and broke out, and Wack got his hands on it, gave this bitch $2, and now they trying to do it in some old other type shit. With stuff like that, man, things could happen, man. Everybody ain't playing about that, man. And you should, if you do something cruddy, if you can't tell me how to fucking respond and pay you back. If you did some vile shit to me and mine, is something that my likeness, I own my voice. I own my words, and you take my shit and do what you want to do with it, man. You can't tell me how to respond back to you off with his head, if that's what I choose, right? Just being real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, they always, when it come to GDs, man, they always throw out there what the underground stuff that's been tagged as GDs, you know what I mean, shit that they've done, the projects, Stateway Guards, the Robert Taylor homes, the 10 stories, the Ickies, you know what I mean, man, Ida B. Wells projects, man, what's the one everybody know of, man, Cabrini Greens, you know what I mean, it's like, you know, they always tell you what the criminalistic shit that happened in those projects. They don't tell you the positive stuff that happened in those projects where women didn't get raped on those elevators. Women didn't get raped on those elevators. Women got home safely every fucking night, whether the elevators was broke or not. In the building, saluting that star Jack on his growth and development. Oh, baby, growth and development, man. We made sure the women did not get raped in our project buildings when GDs was in charge of our community, protected, serving our communities. That's a fact. I come from that. I witnessed it with my own eyes, and I helped ladies get up, groceries and all, walk them up the steps. No elevators working because we in the PJs, but they don't tell that part, you know? They always tell this one got shot, that one got shot, they did this and that, you know what I mean? They don't tell the positivity. Look at, anybody got the time, do the research on what this man has written over the last 30 some odd years. The material he's written, man, it's not negative. It's all upliftment of your people, man. It's not, and even back then, the structure of Gangster Disciples and Growth and Development was not criminal shit. GDs had to carry themselves in an appropriate type of manner. It was laws, rules, and creeds to this shit, you know? You couldn't just be out here reckless, looking and doing anything and call yourself claiming something that was real official. You had to carry yourself in an appropriate manner. And certain things you were not allowed to do. Certain things you had to carry yourself a certain type of way. It was structured even back then. It wasn't just no wild, wild west. It was never like that. It's like that now because they have nothing to answer to, nothing to stand up for. They just renegade gangbangers now, and they attack everybody under that moniker. You know what I'm saying? And that's bullshit. They got Larry Hoover sitting down there in Florence, Colorado, man, with no contact to human contact, no sunlight hitting his brother. He's down there with fucking terrorists who blew up and bombs in kids' mouths and shit. Come on, man. That man has one attempt murder on his hands. One. That's it. But you got mafia members out here with 60, 70 personal bodies blowing people's brains out free today. Make that make sense, right? Make it make sense, man. Real for real. But man, but Gillingham did a good thing, man. They let Lil J them up there and Larry Hoover Jr., man, and really put some positive energy out there on a big platform so people can know, man, it's not no gang shit, man. It's not, man. I was never taught to go kill no brother, man. I was never taught that. It was always protect what's ours. If somebody come trying to violate, take, or hurt our women and kids, you respond. That's human nature, right? That's what men's supposed to do, right? It's like, man, you're supposed to protect your home, your investment, your neighborhood, your community. That's what you're supposed to do as men. We ain't supposed to just see some shit happen and just turn the blind eye. You know what I mean? That ain't what we're supposed to do as men in our community, or you shouldn't be a man in that community, right? I'm just saying. That's my feeling. You know what I'm saying? Mandatory, Frank White. You dig? I ain't trying to put my way of thinking on nobody or none of that, but I'm just expressing on a conversation and a topic that's real interesting and means something to me. You know what I mean? Because, man, I was born and raised to that, man. My entire family was raised under that banner, you know? And people, just like now you see these shorties, man. You got GDs in New York killing BDs in New York. Do they remember Disciples was founded together, man? But it's not even thought of that type of way because they don't remember the foundation of this. They don't remember, they never was taught these leaders that put in structure, put in rules, regulations to say you that. You understand what I mean? So that's why how can all of y'all ride under the same star? How y'all ops? It makes no sense. You know what I mean? But that's where they made the disconnect happen at. If they'd have released two of these most powerful men in existence in the underworld, certain things wouldn't be happening. I stand on that. I put my hand on that. The government gave Jeff Fort $1 million in the 70s, man. But they tried to make him bring drugs in the hood. And he said, fuck that. I put money in the hood and went and bought guns and artillery to protect their neighborhood. He came and snatched his ass up and he's been locked up ever since, till today. That's how the government worked. If he'd have used that money and went and put bricks in the hood, Jeff Fort would still be free. And he was Black Peastone. But you know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Straight up, man. It's like, man, the United States don't do everything correct, man. But they, you know, they tell you what they want you to know and they broadcast what they want to drill in your head. You know what I mean? Chairman ain't no bad man at all, man. No, he is not. Whenever you got locked up in like Cook County, when Larry Hoover was there, that man would come introduce himself to every person that came in there. When the leaders were put away, the shorties went astray. Facts, Netstar. Facts. Think about that. Whenever you rolled up in a certain tier, certain area, certain deck in Cook County, if you rolled in the vicinity of this, he introduced himself to every man that came into the county jail, whether you was GD, BD, Black P Stone, conservative, vice versa, Latin King, no matter what. I see a brother introduce himself on a friendly note instead of coming at you, meeting you on opposite, you know what I mean, being an opposition or something, you know what I mean? That's man shit, you know what I mean? He never came off in no loud manner, never raised his voice, and always respectable and carried himself as a gentleman at all times. But they put it out like, you know, this man is just the worst. I don't think he should be nowhere in the same vicinity with fucking terrorists. He didn't do no terroristic things. It's appalling to me. That's appalling to me, you know? It's like, man, we all do survival of the fittest as a motherfucker. This country was built on gangster shit, bullying shit, rape, killing. You know what I'm saying? That's what this country was founded on. You know what I mean? So, man, can't turn a blind eye when a motherfucker fight back. You know what I mean? Like, come on, yeah. It's just real, man. Most of the blacks in Chicago came from Mississippi, man, because there was no slavery in Chicago. So they came up there for the jobs and shit. But then once they did that, they built them damn projects and stacked all our ass on top of each other, yeah. And said, fend for yourself. Then we realized how to make it fending for yourself. They came in, you know, genocide, baby. Genocide, for real, for real. It's just some facts that I'm spitting out because I was there. I saw it myself. I was right there. Man, I witnessed the good of it. You understand? Man, I'm not saying it's no bad. Of course, that's anything. That's with anything. You go to corporate America, it's fucking crooks right up in there every day making millions. They fucking crooks. So, you know, what's the difference, right? You go down to corporate America, some of them will get in your house and kill your ass over a deed. That is fact. You know what I mean? But in America, certain things is accepted a little better depending on who do it. You know what I mean? So we got to be honest about everything. I was telling my wife, like, man, you got to remember, it's some men that was in this country that do beast type shit, but they free and in power and some shit, not no racist shit at all. Some shit black men just don't do. Look at the numbers. And you know what I mean? But we looked at it as savagery and shit. You know what I mean? That's how the government set this shit up, man. And we gotta be honest with ourselves. And like the problem is for so long, nobody would talk about all of this whole melting pot, honestly. You know what I'm saying? That's why the shit keep going on, because it's hush hush. You can't say that shit. Gotta be quiet about that. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Gotta keep it real, man. Government ain't always been right. This motherfucking savages that came in this fucking country and they own shit. Because they was more willing to be savagery, you know what I mean? Like than we were. We always had a natural heart, you know what I mean? That's man. And that shit cost us in a lot of ways over the centuries and centuries, you dig? Ain't trying to preach to you, I'm just keeping it real, man, how this shit started. King Larry Hoover is actually a king, man, real shit, on so many levels. Straight up. Next start, what up with you, bro? I know you understand what I'm talking about, Jay. I know Frank White definitely do, you dig? But it's like, man, people be be tripping, man. And it's like, man, but J Prince, man, I salute that brother so much, man, because he stick right there because he know, because the federal government tried to kill him twice for being too powerful and trying to open their own distribution company up. They got Suge, they got Herb. J Prince still standing right there, and he a billionaire and sitting on his islands like, that y'all motherfuckers to come around here, crossover coming to get me. Tap, knock their ass off. They don't like that. You know what I mean? The machine don't like that, but that man stood tall and stood 10 toes down. And he's still holding that brother down. But Hoover also made sure that he was held down as well, man. Because growth and development is a powerful entity around this country, whether they want to admit it or not. Again, growth and development is a powerful entity around this country, whether they want to admit it or not. Straight up. It's a fact, man. Just wanted to tap in and show some, you know, some respect to my, you know, my backbone with how I was raised, how I was taught, what taught me my morals. That's man, I was forced into having the morals that I have today as my big brother who was seated on shit, you know what I mean, had a seat in certain situations, forced that upon me, made me pay attention to certain things, have certain qualities about myself, or he would whoop my ass. know what I'm saying? They felt that if they cut off our head, that the body, man, you cut off the head, you cut off the head, the body damn sure lay, man, for real. They tried, but it's like, man, we body for body, head for head, hand for hands. I think we more powerful, man. It's written. It is written. It is fucking written, man. King amongst kings, baby. Real shit. But no disrespect to nobody else, but I just stand for mine straight like that. You feel me? And I refuse to submit to some other shit. It's just that simple. For real, for real. And it's like, man, and I don't think nothing wrong with that. And I got the right to do that. Plus, I take care of myself and don't ask nobody for shit. So, like it or don't, that's what it is. And that's part of that growth and development, man. I'm always trying to better my people, better my man. I'm trying to grow my conditions so my kids can be better off in their shit. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's what they drilled and instilled in us, man. Like, for real. Started in the project thing, supposed to level up. He was showing us how to level up back then in the 70s, and they cut that shit off. But who the fuck is you to tell them what to do to correct their wrongs? Like, come on, man. Like, real, man. It's real facts, man. But I just wanted to tap in a minute, man, and just put a little of that spill on the brains, you dig? Because that's, man, I got a sensitive, it's a part of me. Whenever I see that and hear that, it affect me, you know what I mean? Still to this day, man, because I come from that, and I ain't ashamed of it, and I stand on that, you know what I mean? I really stand on that, you know? So, man, I appreciate everybody coming through. Really do, man. I really do. I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Like, subscribe, and share, folks. Yeah. Man, that stars.
Those of you who
heard it, we gotta hook up, bro, and tap it in, man. Frank White, man, appreciate you, bro. Man, y'all be safe out here too, man. You dig? Chi-Town, stand up, baby. Y'all know what I say. You ain't got to respect me, but you will not disrespect me. 215-19, baby, all the time. You get it? Holla back.